A spring Saturday in downtown Toronto where the National Hockey League allows a brief look away from the Stanley Cup playoffs to award the first overall selection in the draft.
I think the philosophy behind why we have a lottery and the league's philosophy behind the lottery makes a lot of sense, but obviously you like to win it. So anytime you don't win at something, then you don't like it. But otherwise, I understand, the purpose behind it.
Nobody is more interested in what those cards contain than the eligible clubs and their team representatives who have gathered here with us tonight.
The number 5 overall selection in the 2018 NHL Draft belongs to the Arizona Coyotes.
Arizona entered with the third best odds. The second time in 4 years now, the Coyotes fall out of the top 3.
Certainly need luck to win the lottery. I mean, it is just a lucky draw, but if I was just sitting here waiting to get lucky, then I wouldn't be a manager of an NHL team. My view is, it's going to occur, the lottery's going to happen, and my job's to make the best of it. Everyone knew that one was seemingly a franchise-changing player just right off the bat, but we felt like there's good players, 2, 3, 4. 5, we still think we're getting a really good player as well and has a chance to be maybe even the best player in the draft. You never know. So we feel like we're getting a great player. We're getting a good person. We know that. And someone that's going to be good with us for a long, long time. But I can't concern myself with the picks ahead. I'm a big routine guy, so my routine doesn't change too much. Just kind of usually the first one, make sure I get the first one at the office. And it's 9 o'clock Eastern right now for a lot of people, so on the East Coast making a lot of calls, and so I kind of get that out of the way with some managers that know that I'm up and they're on the East Coast, so connect with those guys for a bit and just check in, see what they're up to, and then from there kind of clean some things up at the office, clean up some emails and try to get a workout in. So that's kind of my morning, but it's obviously it's draft time, so a lot of stuff going on, a lot of action, but just try to be prepared for it. I get excited. There's always a lot of preparation and work that goes into it, so you feel prepared. If you feel prepared, you feel excited. I think if you feel like you're not sure, then I think that's where some of the stress or anxiety comes from. But it's important for organization to have a big draft, and obviously we got a good pick, so got to hit on it. But I'm confident in the work we've done so far. How are things in beautiful Buffalo? Yeah, the sun's shining. You got Darlene coming. Life's good. We were so excited to get Keller and Chayka in my first draft. Now you see them making the type of impact they can make. You want to just keep doing those types of moves and have those types of impacts. And then you watch the Capitals, win this year, and they made some great picks. They got Kuznetsov late. They had a higher pick in Vrana, and they hit on that, and he scores, a big goal in the game clincher there. So, yeah, I just, you think of those types of things where if you can hit and get the right person, it can go a long way. Yeah. Hey, I wanted to follow up with you on Fasching. I think we look to do that. I just wanted to make sure there's nothing like you looking for a change, and he's probably looking for a change of scenery. And no, I mean we got the same thing. Yeah, with a couple guys here, they're just getting boxed out, and I just want to make sure it was one of these things where he's not like either he's playing the NHL or he's disenchanted and he's looking to get out or whatever the case may be. I think we're trending towards doing that. And then hey, just one other question I had for you. This might have some legs. It might not have any legs. We're working with Jim Pittsburgh on a few things, and I guess as it relates to our O'Reilly discussions, is there anything there that would entice you that would that you would consider to be an important piece that you'd like as part of that deal, or that'd be difficult to do just with what we're also talking about with Pittsburgh. It all goes into the mix, I guess. But I'm still working on it here, so I just wanted to gather some information, I guess, to see if it's helpful. But let me keep working on it, and we'll keep talking. No, this is real. Yeah, there's a deal here that could make some sense. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, if I wanted to do a deal in 24 hours with Jim, I know I could get there. So it is real. Yeah, I appreciate that. Let me give you a call back when Solly gets in here, and then we'll go from there. Thanks, Bots. Oh. You know, we view the draft as an information game, and obviously that's a big week. I mean, it's a week where you kind of have to get through it and you know, put the work boots on, and like you said, you're talking to a lot of people, gathering a lot of information, and a lot of it's, you know, what the players, you know, how they say things as much as what they say. So, and it's a very dynamic conversation that we like to have with guys, where we kind of let them lead it. So, you know, in that regard, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too.
Nice to meet you. Hey, John. Nice to meet you. Steve.
Nice to meet you.
What? Nice to meet you.
We kind of try to review after each interview. You get a quick 5-minute break, and then at the end of the day, kind of go over some flags with some of the players, and then at the end of the week, we review again as a whole. So again, we're having a conversation about the player, just trying to get to know them. So there's no right or wrong answers, and you know, what we're looking for may not necessarily be right. It's just what we believe in, what we feel is right for the Coyotes. So, you know, in that regard, you can't nail it or miss it, but our guys, we feel strongly about the quality of people in this draft, especially up at the top of the draft, and think we're going to get a good player there.
I've always been a leader on my teams, usually been the captain and the assistant captain, so I think that's nothing I'm trying to be. That's something I just am, I think. And yeah, I mean, I'm not the guy maybe that's screaming on everyone, but I try to lead with example in the gym and also on the ice.
Jake must have texted him saying.
I think they continually tweak and add tests or subtract tests, and you know, I think ultimately, again, it's as much about you know, going through that process, being able to see the players physically, their frames, and how they project. And you know, everyone's gonna have an opinion of add this test, take this test away. I think as a whole, as an aggregate, the league does a really good job, and obviously Buffalo has been a fabulous host for the last number of years. To have everything in one place there has been phenomenal. All right, guys, one last time. Just going through a few players here. I want to make sure we get this right. I want to talk about a few guys. So we'll start off with Brady Tkachuk. Tim, what are your final thoughts on Brady?
Well, we'll go to, might get the local guy to start it off. Pulley and Trevor, you guys want to give us your thoughts on Tkachuk?
You know, obviously Brady, big, strong kid, competitive guy, has some skill. Still, you know, a lot of physical development left, but you know, I think he brings something that could certainly help our group. He has a combative approach, and he's around the net and around the puck a lot.
All right, I mean, we've seen this guy for 2 years now. I mean, we've got a good book on him. His under 18 year was really able to shine on the offensive side of it, and I think that moving forward, there's more offense than what he was able to show this year.
We'll go to Barrett Hayton. Jeff, you want to talk to us about Barrett?
You know, center with some size, just under 6'2", 190 pounds, plays for Sioux Greyhounds, one of the better teams in the CHL this year, a big part of that team's success, but highly competitive, smart, two-way center. Grew up with a pond in his backyard, kind of a Canadian story, skating on the pond. So he's just nothing flashy, but just a really complete two-way centerman.
Yeah. Tim, anything to add?
No, I think just the leadership. I think this guy also is going to bring leadership to any group. I think even on the Sioux team this year, that was an older team, and he was 17, a bunch of 19-year-old. He was, by the end of the year, he was the guy that seemed to be really leading that team, and I think that in the future, he's got those capabilities.
Hot and humid afternoon in Dallas, Texas. If the near 40-degree Celsius temperature doesn't draw a bead of sweat, how about the possibility of being a first-round pick? This is the 2018 National Hockey League Draft on Sportsnet.
I knew who I wanted and was hoping for. I knew that I knew Montreal, like they were just standing pat. They were going to take the best center available. There was a split camp in a lot of ways. I knew that Ottawa had some discussions about, flopping their picks.
Pierre LeBrun wants to know if I'm trading you my pick so that you can play the Tkachuk brothers together. He says that's your guy. You got a target on him. Just waiting to see how this top 5 shakes out, and I'll go from there.
The Ottawa Senators are extremely pleased to select from the Boston U Terriers, Brady Tkachuk.
I give Pierre credit for keeping that tight.
Ultimately, when I knew that there were teams behind us that were looking to move up, we had no choice but to stand pat and take the player. And honestly, when you have a pick like that and you believe in a player like we did, getting the player is the ultimate goal. It's not to get the extra pick or get the extra kind of depth player. You're in a position where you spent a year and you took some sacrifices to get this opportunity. You want to make sure you get your player.
This is the one, Sully. Yeah, ready. Okay. We're good.
Going up those left stairs.
Thank you. Gary, how you doing? Good to see you.
Line up along draft.
Yep.
Thank you to the City of Dallas and the Dallas Stars for being tremendous hosts. The Arizona Coyotes are proud to select from the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds of the Ontario Hockey League center Barrett Hayton.
Yeah. He's going to be a beast. Oh, he is. He is a beast. He looks like a big dude. He killed the combine. Killed it. Yeah, awesome kid. Congratulations. Good job. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, you're good. Under.
The 5th selection in the first round, Barrett Hayton.
How's that feel? Yeah? You have any idea? A little bit? No?
I don't know, a bit, but
yeah. Go this way. Good job.
Some people, the experts out there, would maybe see that as a surprise, but clearly you guys were targeting this guy right from the start. What attracted you to a guy like Barrett Hayton?
Yeah, everything. He's a full package. Obviously, a 200 feet center that he can play in all situations, contribute through the middle of the ice, and he's a character kid, good athlete. Really, there's no reason not to take him at the end of the day. You have to have a process, and you have to be disciplined to it. And the plan's not the most complex thing in the world in the NHL to win, but you have to stick to the plan, and I think that's the hard part. So, like I said, we want to be disciplined. We want to build to the middle of the ice. We felt we did that with Barrett.
Got off to a tough start last season, but you guys were one of the best teams down the stretch.
Hard to describe. You almost go blank there. I remember hearing from the Sioux Greyhounds, and it was just a whirlwind of emotions. Obviously hugging my parents and my sister, people who have been there for me since day one. It's just hard to describe the emotion.
Were you thinking that you were going to be a top 5 pick?
Yeah, that was definitely my goal, and you never really know with drafts, and I can't put it to words how happy I am. Hi, pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Well, good day. Congratulations.
It's been crazy. Obviously, it's been a quick turnaround, but kind of after the draft, enjoying it with my family for sure. So I'm spending some time with them, going out for dinner with them, and obviously I went back for day 2 to kind of be around the table and get to know a couple of the other draft picks. So that was nice as well. And then flew right here. Kind of got here, got a feel for the city. It's been amazing so far.
So I think looking back on these last few weeks, history is going to be really kind to this moment. I think the draft we had, the players we were able to add, to be able to secure our own free agents and create some stability within the organization, and then obviously moving forward, continuing to add to our group and really build on this. It's something that we feel really confident about where we're headed, and really happy about the strides we've taken as an organization.